What up?
Can you hear me? Hold on, these headphones might be busted. Give me 1 second.
Oh no. No, everything's right.
How about now? Can you...
On my end.
Hold on.
Voice meter input.
Now?
Yeah, everything's right on my end. You're just not talking.
Hold on, let me swap this. I'm using some headphones that aren't the best. I forgot mine at home, so.
I think.
Can you hear me now? Am I sounding all right?
Cool. Technical difficulties right off the bat. Oh, Devan, I can't hear you, brother.
How about now? Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Devan.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Do what?
That's to tell you, brother, I don't hear you.
Right now, you don't hear me?
Now I can hear you. Never mind. That was on my end.
Hold on. Let me try these headphones again. 1 second.
No, I can hear you.
Well, I don't have them in yet.
Well, we can hear
Hold
you.
on. How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And how about now?
I can still hear you. Thanks, I've
Awesome.
not changed.
Oh, good. Good.
Alright, let's put your placeholder picture in there. We're gonna be behind schedule just a minute.
Oh, you're fine, man.
Well, I sat down and then my keyboard, like, I had to unplug it and replug it because as soon as I moved over, like, I hit anything, it just started typing ones, so I was like, of course this is happening.
Great.
Yeah. Awesome. Everything's not working as intended.
What'd you do today, man?
Not a whole lot. I worked, and then like I went to, like, you know how I go to the Sunday night dinners.
Yep.
I went to their house and we played a little poker for a little bit. $10 buy-in, and I walked away from it all for the show, man. I walked away from it all. Okay. Da 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 da. Okay, I guess we'll get this ball rolling. What you think? Sound good? Sound good?
I'm ready whenever you are. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alright. Oh, I need to hit live here so I can make sure I can hear you. I thought we are going. Okay. Talk?
Hello, hello. Test, test. 1, 2.
Alright, cool. So it looks like you came through. Good deal.
Devan always comes through.
Phrasing! Okay, alright. Alright, cool. So let me get all the buttons ready and press the buttons in the right order, and we'll play this game.
Hi, I'm Devan, and I'm the pastor.
Hi, I'm DeWayne, and I'm the Atheist, and you're listening to the Pastor and Atheist Show. Hello, hello.
What was that sound? It sounded like you dropped something like a bass drum.
I mean, we
Did
start
you
the
buy a
show,
bass
bro.
drum?
Like, what else are you gonna do?
Is that a gong noise?
Yeah, no. So let me, just like that every time. That's how we roll.
We've literally never done. Do one more time.
Yeah, just one more time.
Let's get this show started.
Welcome to episode 13 of the Buster and the Atheist, brother.
So glad to have everybody with us today.
Yeah, man. It's been a day, and it's been a week.
It's been a year.
It's
been 27 for me.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start. I guess we'll start with your week, right?
As usual, yeah, man. It's been a super great week for me. Had a few, or I say, so when I was a youth pastor, of course, I had lots of children that I was a pastor over, and parents I got to build relationships with, and two of those people came up this week, so it was awesome to be able to spend time with some people that were from home that we had pretty close to. But I had to work all weekend, so that kind of cut into the time, which kind of sucked. Just so our viewers know, I'm doing the show from Tennessee. I'm back home right now. I'm in Chapel Hill, my old home. Spoiler alert, me and DeWayne are actually going to do some lunchy lunch tomorrow with our girls and people we love that are going to be there with us. But who cares? It's me and DeWayne. Who cares?
Everybody else there, why are they even there, bro? I thought it was just me and you.
They're going to sit at a different table and just look at us while they're just laughing.
They have to sit at their own table. And every time they look at us, we'll go, no, it's just me and him.
I need there to be some glass between us so like they can see us laughing but not hear it.
We'll go to Walmart or Target or whatever, and we'll buy one of those like roll-away clothes things, that you hang on clothes, and we'll get like some sheets, and so we'll just bring our own divider. And when the waitress goes, no, you don't understand. This isn't for them. It's for us.
It's for everyone. Actually, we just build like our own. We build a fort out of. We build like a. We
just buy a bunch of pillows and build a pillow fort in the middle of the restaurant, and hang a sign out there that says "Fort Kickass, no girls allowed."
No girls allowed.
That's right.
The girls has a Z on it.
Well, I mean that's the only way you spell things, so it has to be.
Girls allowed.
Girls. It's got a U instead of an I. Real serious business.
Hey, they get it. They understand. So yeah, that's great. Show from home. Lunch with DeWayne tomorrow. I just saw 2 days ago Zooptopia, which is really funny. I don't know if your kids would love it, man. They would eat it up. And
yeah, I thought about taking both the kids to it, which will be that means that'll be Alexandra's first movie at 3 years old. So I was like, ooh, do I roll the dice?
Does she watch movies pretty? Like, is it a hit or miss type thing, or is she?
Yeah, it's a hit or miss for her. Like, if it's a hit, is she gonna sit on that couch, curl up with that baby, and or that blanket, and she's gonna watch that movie from start to finish. If it's a miss, you're fucked.
She didn't get through opening credits or opening scene.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, dude, today I just got back, and the reason why we're a little late starting is I went to see Batman versus Superman.
Tell me how that was, because I think I'm gonna go see it Tuesday.
It is okay. So the build is a little slow at first.
I'm okay with that. It's fucking Batman versus Superman.
Yes. Oh, I've been reading like today. I was just like, I wonder what critics have said, what reviews have been given.
Shit.
They've been given terrible reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not think I did not think it was bad. Okay, when I got to the first hour or so, I was like, oh man, it is gonna be, because it's a slow build, but they're doing it for a really good reason. The last hour and a half, you're like, this is amazing. Like, this is really good stuff. I don't want to do any spoilers because it's literally like the first full day it's been open.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We'll give it a couple weeks to milk it. And you know what? Actually, let's do this. Once you watch it, spoiler alerts no longer are a thing. Either you go see it and don't listen to the show until you watch the movie, because I want to talk about this with you on the show.
Yeah, man. I'm planning on seeing it next Tuesday. I think I might have to go get fitted for a tux, but all the same, I'm still going to make sure I go see it Tuesday.
Dakota loved it. I mean, she's not really into superhero movies, so she loved it. She was like, I don't know why the critics said it sucked. It was really good. So someone who's not even into those movies, and
that's what I'll be doing. I'll be bringing somebody who's not really into the nerd action thing. So,
dude, Wonder Woman, like, she is so BA in that movie. Like, she doesn't have a huge role, like a huge part, but the part she's in is good enough. So yeah, I went and saw that, and I really enjoyed it, and I would go see it again if someone asked me to. So I would encourage everyone else to go see
So
it.
basically, I should ask you right after dinner to be like, or right after lunch, be like, you want to ditch these two and go see the Batman?
And we just leave, and then
Yeah,
we
we just
laugh
leave.
at them this time, like we're pointing and just.
But we take
actively-
both cars, so they're stuck at the restaurant. Like, well, we can't ride together. That'd be gay. So come on now.
I ain't gay either, so you know. And I pat you on the butt as I leave. I'll see you in a minute. Good game.
Oh,
But I
man.
don't say good game because I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. You're secure enough that patting another man on his ass is appropriate.
How's your? I'm interested to hear how this first one's about. So how's your week been?
Man, I had like a really, really good week. So a couple of different things happened, right? And some stuff happened tonight that I want to talk about too. One of those is, if you haven't been to the website, I wrote an article about meditation. It's already up, so you can go watch it or read it rather. It's just my take on what went down. So, short version is, this girl I've been seeing that I met on Tinder was like, I'm gonna go to meditation, and I was like, right, I don't need to sit in a room with my thoughts. That seems dangerous. and so she was talking about it, and I was like, that's kind of dumb. And then she explains to me what meditation is. Apparently, I didn't know what meditation was. I thought I was just sitting in a room and breathing and being calm, like I can fucking do that. But that's not what meditation is.
Are you gonna tell us what it is?
Yeah, so meditation, at least the way they do it and the way I like to do it, is so you sit down and you're literally sitting and breathing, but you focus on your breathing a little bit, and that's just the start. And as you do that, like, your mind will naturally wander and your body will like relax to another level. Would you stop like fucking scratching lotto tickets in the middle of my story?
So I just realized, I was like, I bet he hears this.
Yeah, I did, absolutely. So it was really good, man. And if you want like the full like experience of that, go read the article. Like I detail it from start to finish. But I go there with this Tinder girl, and she's like super chill, and I absolutely like her. And so hopefully going forward, she won't be just a Tinder girl. She'll get a name, and
she'll get a name
on the podcast. Like, she has a name outside of that, obviously.
It'll be official.
Yeah, it'll be official. It's official when I drop the name on the podcast, right?
Amen.
So we go to the meditation. It was pretty cool. It was different. I mean, I'm gonna go Monday again because I actually enjoyed it. So
good.
And I think she's going with me, but I'm not sure. I think she is. But regardless, I'm going because it was a dig, man. It was blast.
So you went to a place? Did you went to a place?
Yeah, we went to a place. There's a place on 12 South, the Dharma Center or the Dharma Initiative, something like that. The Dharma Initiative is from Lost, so it's not that. But
I was about to say that that sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah, so it's a pretty chill place. Now, the one thing I will say to this is it's like a meditation, walking meditation, okay? So about halfway through, you get up and you walk for 10 minutes. Now, let me tell you, walking meditation is the best when you're there with a girl who's in front of you. So I was like breathing and stuff, and I went, oh, there's her ass. And I went, oh, that's nice. Oh, wait, that's not what this is supposed to be about. And then, so I tell her afterwards, I was like, I gotta tell you something. She goes, you were looking at my ass during the walking. I was like, yeah. I was like, I knew I shouldn't be. She goes, well, meditation is about focusing on something you like. And I went, fuck, if I would have just the whole time, I could have been staring at your ass. I just thought it'd be rude. So after that, we go and get some food. And here's where the other portion is, the car sick portion of our thing is. So we go and we get food at Chipotle, and as we're eating, she just looks at me and goes, so the rest of the night's on you now. And which I was not prepared for at all. I was like, oh, cool, we'll eat and we'll hang out, right? And she then looked at me expectantly, like I had a plan for after the food. So I was like, what would be cool? Like, do you know the Natchez Trace, Devan?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I was like, that'd be cool. It felt real good. It was a little chilly, but it felt good enough, nice drive down Natchez Trace and talk.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that. Well, about 30 minutes into that drive, she's like, you're going to have to pull over. I'm getting car sick. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, I'm really sick. So then we have to pull over. And it is now freezing cold outside. And
this is de-escalated quickly.
Yeah, it has went from a pretty good night to a horrible night, right? And so she is sick, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And so she, of course, wants to walk out, and walk away from the car and stuff. Thank God I had emergency blankets and gloves and stuff for her to stay warm. They didn't help me. I was freezing fucking cold. But that's okay. I was so happy to make her warm, right? And so it was like one of those things like out of a fucking movie. Because it's like, nice romantic drive. Oh, you're really sick, huh? Right. Well, no, thank God she didn't blow chunks. But it ended up being really good because, full moon. So, like, we're literally out in the middle of fucking nowhere with a full moon and the stars. Granted, she's a little car sick, but worked out pretty well, brother. Unfortunately, like, getting her back to her car, like, we had to stop every so long, because once your car's sick, like, you're in.
You're locked in for the night.
So, yeah, it took a little bit to get back. So that was really funny. Tuesday, we went to a comedy bar. Like,
was it Zany's or?
No, there's a place called the East Room, and they do an open mic on Tuesday for amateurs.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
It was hilarious. Some of them were piss poor awful. One guy, black guy walked in. He's wearing a onesie, and he goes, Did you ever think if 2 Chainz lived in the old times, he wouldn't be called 2 Chainz? That was his joke, and it was fucking awful. But this old white guy in the front looks at him all disapproving, like, we don't tell black jokes around here. I saw that guy's face, and I started crying laughing, because this guy was in, like, disapproving of this guy in his onesie telling his jokes, man. But there were some good people. There were some really funny people. One guy got up and started yelling about terrorists, and he goes, it was just fucking awful, dude. Some of them were good, some of them were bad, but ultimately a good time had by all. So
was it Nashville?
It was in Nashville, dude. Oh my god, dude. It's so good. I'm going to go back. Not this week, but I'll go back for sure. That was funny. Who knows? Maybe I'll go do some open mic stand-up. I doubt
it. Dude, yeah, we could think of some material together and then see how it...
Well, one guy walks up and started telling atheist jokes, and I was like, this guy's my bag! He started making fun of Jesus Christ. I was like, oh, yes. Oh, he knows. So that was really good.
That guy's going to hell.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see him there.
You know what I think is one of the funniest things when somebody says you're going to hell in a handbasket? I'm like, I think there's actually a comedian said, like, there's way worse ways to go to hell. I'll take the handbasket route.
No, but you got to fit in the handbasket. So how the fuck...
You're going to be on an episode...
You're going to be on an episode of Will It Blend, and you're going in the fucking blender. Like,
Will It Blend?
Yeah, no. So, other than that, pretty good week. Chit-chat with her. Getting along with this girl really well. She'll actually be there tomorrow, so you'll get to meet her, which is a good sign. Like, how many of the women in my life have you met, Devan?
What's 0 plus 0?
I think that's goose egg, right?
We'll put it differently. What's 0 divided by 0?
That's how you get like fucking holes in the earth. So never divide by 0.
It's that one. It's that one. I choose that one.
Cool. Yeah. So that was good. Today, I actually got not in trouble, but sort of. So I've been staying up really late with her, right? Like really ridiculously late.
Or early because you don't sleep. So let's be honest.
Yeah, or early because I don't sleep. And so she listened to last week's episode where I had forgotten about this until she sends me a text saying, you might be in trouble with the picture of the podcast. Apparently, I remember I was talking on the podcast about hallucinating on the way home Wednesday night. And she was like, I thought you weren't that tired. And I was like, ew, whoopsie.
Well, at least we know she listens.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Plus
Lisa. I mean, whatever your name is. Dang it. You can always edit that out later.
Not with the live show.
Well, maybe no one's listening. How many viewers? Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not even paying attention to that right now. So, yeah, and then I played poker tonight, and that was really good. I lost so hard, and then walked away from what I had left. So
you gotta know when to hold them.
Well, I mean, when people know you're leaving early and you start betting hard, they're like, does he really have anything, or is he just trying to bet hard to walk out?
He's just trying to get out of this.
Yeah. So I was trying to knock one person out. That way, when I left, I was at least one up in the ladder, but it didn't work.
No such luck?
No such luck at all, friend. What are you going to do? All right, man. Let's do some news, man.
All right, there we go. That's the news intro for you. Not a whole lot of news. Like we've mentioned before, we're trying to feel out some kind of new, maybe some new segments for the show, maybe some new directions.
Something different. The news is, unless we see something good in the news, it's
and
the
right now it's
fucking
just
news.
Politics, dude. I'm just sick of politics. I don't even care anymore.
Trump hair don't care, bro.
Trump's hair don't care. So I'm over that until the president has decided, and then we can all hate them together.
I can't wait until Trump or Hillary gets elected. Because I think if Trump gets elected, I'm going to make sure I can style my hair as much as Trump as possible. And then wear a tie on the episode and be Trump for an episode.
Well, I thought about this. I was like, you know what? Whoever we pick, like, the whole country's going to hate them in unison. So no matter who we pick, we're bringing everybody together.
Yeah. I mean, we're either going to get the liberals or the assholes. And I'll let you decide where those go. But... I mean, they could be both, really. Liberals and assholes. Like, we're not discriminatory, so.
No, we take all kinds.
But
Takes all kinds
of
guns.
into what you got going on here, because you got a couple things listed.
Yeah, a couple things pretty quick. This is not going to take a lot, but I was on my way home from Missouri. I say home. Home is Missouri for me, so I was on the way to visit my old home. I have like an 8-hour drive, and so what we do a lot of times is listen to podcasts. That's what I do. I listen to podcasts. And I was listening to a couple TED Talks where I heard about these couple things. And also one was called is it Black Tapes? Black Tapes podcast?
Black Tapes. Right? Oh, so good. I love their intro.
So good. So Black Tapes podcast is where I heard about geocaching. Now, for several of you listening to this is not new. And this has been going on for many, many, many years. But I had never heard of this. But geocaching, and you can look it up. It's an app you can get. The app color is... It's white, and it's called literally geocaching. You can't mistake it for anything else. But what geocaching is kind of like going on a treasure hunt. You get this app, and then it pulls up a map for you of where you are, and then it'll show you these dots that are around you. What it is somebody has taken a container, and they put like a log or something, so when you find this item, you have to go out and find these items, whether it's in the woods or next to a store, but people hide them in pretty good places. But you go, you have to try to find it. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not so easy. You take an item out. It's like typically people put like little figurines or pencils or something in there. So you take one, you put one back. That's what you do. You trade it out. And then you'll sign like a log saying you were there. And on the app, you'll click found it. And then maybe you put a little note like, hey, great placement, or couldn't find it or whatever. But I don't know. Just thought it was a really cool idea. I imagine this is pretty similar to what Pokemon Go will be like once it comes out. I'm almost certain it's going to be a similar format. But that's geocaching. So if you live in a new city or you visit a new city and you want to like find places that are nearby, go geocaching. Give yourself something to do while you explore the city. And then the second thing I've got.
Hold on, before you move on, two things. One, they've already said in Pokemon Go that like water types are going to be found near rivers and stuff like that. So, I'm going to go hunt near rivers for my Squirtle.
Right.
Two, so the cool thing about geocaching is you go and pick something up and you put something in, right? So like, you're basically trading out. Man, I feel like you need to do something special, like go online and order a bunch of poker chips, but they have like your name engraved on them that says like Devan was here, and then like when you take something out, you put in a poker chip.
Well,
that would be cool.
I thought about that, and I thought about something like that. But what I ended up doing today was going to the dollar store and getting Army Men. I bought a bag of Army Men.
You made somebody's day. Like, you should have given them a magnifying glass too, and just put a note that said, "You know what to do."
Just tape them to it's a kit.
Yeah, it's a fucking kit, right? I mean, that cost you $3 counting the paper.
Somebody better enjoy this.
Or I wish I was rich, and like every geocache, I just dropped a fucking iPod in it. Like, brand new iPod.
I left $1 because I didn't have anything on me. I was like, I'll just leave $1 in this one. So I left $1 in one, and I because you leave a note so people can go and see who the last person was to put in there. And I was like, left some cash in this one. So I wonder if anybody's even gonna like check that one out.
Yeah. Then the person gets to it and went $1. What am I gonna buy with this?
And then they realize that like they don't have their phone's dead and they need to make a call, and if by some chance there's a payphone nearby.
Yeah, wait, hold on. In your story, payphones still exist.
I know. Maybe. Well, there's a homeless guy and they're like, hey, you need this more than I do, and he's like, what the heck's $1 gonna do? And he throws it back at you and walks away.
He goes, can I trade you $1 to borrow your phone charger, homeless man, for just a couple minutes?
He's like, Yeah, sure. You need it, you poor soul.
Yeah, no kidding. So what's the other thing you got going on?
This other thing is called Storycorps, and this is the one I heard on a TED Talk. And what this is it's also an app. This was also like an experiment type thing they did back in the 80s or 90s. This guy just wanted to have stories, like just lots of stories and history from people. So this app has really expanded since the time that it came out first. And what you do is basically you interview someone. So it could be your wife, it could be your grandmother, grandfather, your kids, someone who's in the military, someone who may be dying, even just whatever you want to do. When you record it on this, it gives you questions to prompts. You don't have to come up with your own questions, which is what's sort of neat about it. But you interview these people, and then once you upload it, you can either just save it for yourself for later, or you can choose to upload it to the database, which it goes to the Library of Congress for like future uses. One of the uses they said was really cool was a guy had interviewed his grandfather, and then his grandfather, passed away a year or two from then, but he was able to go back, and they had this memory captured, this interview, because his grandfather was in the war, talking about, what are your favorite moments with us grandkids as we were growing up. So it's just something that I thought was really cool to have. Wives talking about, what they love about their spouses, or husbands with their spouses, or just these little moments of history, glimpses into people's lives that we get to see even from our own lives. Now, you can't really, I don't think you can look up specific people or names to see those interviews. I haven't delved into it that much. But one teacher said, what if we, like over Thanksgiving break or Christmas, it was every high schooler's assignment to do this, ask them a question about their past and all of that information, how cool it would be to hear all these different histories and have all this information. I was like, to me, it's a cool idea. It's a cool concept. That's about the extent of I got for that.
Yeah, I like that. That sounds interesting. I don't know that I would ever do it, but I also thought I'd never start a podcast either, so who knows? Maybe I'll get bored enough and get into that, man.
Maybe. So if you're into that kind of thing and you're kind of like sentimental about I don't know, just people in your life, or I don't know, I think it's cool to explore. And you can always erase the app if you don't want it, It's just easy.
Yeah, here's what I have to say. What the fuck are you doing at a Firehouse Subs? Man, you could go to a Subway, a Quiznos, a Which. So many better options.
What Firehouse is balling, man.
Firehouse is not balling. Look, when I go to a sub shop and they go, you got these options. Bitch, do you know how a sandwich works? Like, it's real easy.
Their options are so delicious. I don't need. I'm like,
the bread. Every time I've ever eaten a Firehouse sub, they're like, we put the bread in there, but we made it real hard. Like, every single time. Now, I say that I've eaten there like 3 or 4 times, and that's enough for me to go, never again. Life's too short.
I need soft bread, and you do not have it.
That's right, dude. Man, hard bread will take out a fucking tooth, man. Like, you don't... Watch out.
Dude, we should send that over to ISIS. That's how we win the war.
Yeah, we just
Firehouse
sent a bunch of Firehouse Subs.
Now listen, Firehouse Subs, if you're listening, I love your subs, and I would love for you to support our show.
We'll still take your support, your money.
I'll take subs.
Firehouse Subs, and you tell that employee, I'm here to make an order with the Pastor and Atheist show, and it's going to be the same price. And we're not
I get a military discount, actually, so I'll help us there.
Oh, you get a military discount?
I do,
So
yep.
Just tell them you know Devan from the military, and they'll just hook you that up.
And
it'll be great.
And they'll wink, but they'll still charge you the same price.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Like,
oh, you
wink.
do? Yeah, we know him too. Huh?
That'll actually be more. They're gonna be double.
Yeah. We know that guy.
We
Last
don't like
time
him.
he was here, he broke a chair. Like he was very angry.
That's why I'm sending you guys so you can slowly pay for that chair, and I don't have
to. There you go. Oh man. So let's roll. You wanted to talk about Adam and Eve some more this week.
Yeah, I figured because we didn't really get it, and apparently, according to Micah, we didn't really, I guess, pitch his argument the way that he, like, I get it after he sent us the other emails, how he meant for us to present his argument about.
So you want to explain his dog analogy? That's the biggest one.
Yeah, let me pull it up. So we were talking about Adam and Eve last week, if you weren't with us, and we were talking about Micah, one of our listeners, had emailed saying, that he said Adam and Eve, because they hadn't eaten from the tree of knowledge of good and evil yet, didn't understand right and wrong, so they didn't have moral capabilities. And he compared that to a dog. And I guess wherever we went with that last week was not exactly where he was wanting to go, and so he emailed us back. And
I don't think where we went with that was somewhere I wanted to go. Like I got at the end of that story, I was like, I'm lost.
I'm lost. Help me.
But it was like more like season 1 lost. No, it was more like season 6 lost, like where it was all.
Oh my gosh, season 6 is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was awful. It was an awful place to be.
So Micah emailed back and he said, here's sort of my fine points. And Micah, if we screw this up again, third time's a charm, buddy. We'll get it on the next one.
That's what Devan tells his wife. Every time.
Third time's a charm. So he says, in comparing Adam and Eve to a dog, and I'm actually going to just read his points because I don't want to screw it up. He says, I elected to use the comparison of the dog for the following reasons. 1, they being dogs, have some knowledge of obedience, but in no way do they make moral decisions. 2, you could reasonably assume that if you trained it not to get on the couch in your absence, that it would not out of obedience. 3, with that said, if someone was in your home that the dog could assume was at the same level of authority, and that person invited the dog to join them on the couch, the dog would have no reservations about doing so. And then he says, I like my example because it is a creature that understands obedience but could not make a moral choice between perceivable authority figures, and there may be better ones out there.
No, I think once you explain it, I think he's spot on. I think that Adam and Eve, I think that's great. They just respected God because God literally said, if you fucking do it, I'm going to fuck your shit up.
And to be more specific, he said, you'll die. You will die.
Yeah. Well, first of all, he's a fucking liar, actually. He didn't kill her. So, FYI, I've already determined that God will not follow through on his promises.
No, it's a spiritual death. Like that was the cutoff. That's the fall of man.
Yeah, okay, but like, hey Devan, if you tomorrow when we're at lunch, if you take the last fucking slice of bread, I'm gonna kick you in the fucking nuts. And then when you do it and I don't kick you in the nuts, I'm like, no, it's more like a spiritual thing. It's a fucking cop out.
I don't have spiritual nuts though. Like there's physical.
You wanna fucking find out?
No, I don't. See, that's why I obey you, because I'm like, all right, I don't want to know what that might be like. And Adam and Eve should have said, okay, well, I don't know what that might be like. Let's not do that because it sounds terrible.
No, but that's such a bitch. Okay, look, that's a bitch way to look at that. Like, and I say that lovingly. Because
no, I think that's a biblical way to look at it.
No,
look,
yeah,
listen,
biblical is very much sheep.
There are things worse than death, according to our good friend at work.
Yeah, no, there's not. Like, there's not.
You don't think there's things worse than death?
No, once you die, that's kind of end all be all, brother.
If you have dementia, don't you think that like you're at the stage where like you're forgetting people and you can't do things on your own, like you can't wipe your own butt? I dare say people who have muscular disabilities would be like, hey, like when I die, this is over. Like this is worse than death, but they have to live that way. Now, not all of them, but I would say there are certainly things worse than death.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't experienced those, so like, right now, death is my bad thing.
Is your be all end all? I mean, technically,
if I die, there's no chance of recovery. Science is real fucking good these days,
but it's not that good.
You don't know that.
Hey,
I've learned that science is way more effective than prayer through trial and error. So,
yeah, how do you know that? You can't test it.
I test the shit out of prayer all the time. Hey, did you pray? I did. I prayed a lot. Like, not even prayed.
I prayed a lot.
I prayed a lot. And
so Adam, he compares them to a dog. And my whole thing is like, we're not animals, and so to compare us to animals.
Yes, we are. 100% we are. We are an animal.
The problem is, I haven't seen any other animal besides us build giant cities and cars and have technological advancements.
Monkeys are building weapons and shit and communities.
All right, well, you bring me, just like you don't believe in God, I don't believe that. You bring me some
You don't
weapons
believe
from some
in
apes.
fucking monkeys that have made weapons and it's been proven?
No.
There's scientific fucking studies. Hold on.
What?
Monkeys make weapons. I'm not fucking wrong, dude. Chimps make spears and hunt bush babies. 2007. Here's how fucking fucked you are that this has been out for almost 10 years and you don't know anything about this.
Dude, I think you were telling a lot of people for the first time.
Well, then a lot of people are uneducated. You have the fucking internet, and you never thought, I wonder if any animals have ever made weapons. Boom, monkeys. Dude, I remember when this story fucking came out. I was still in high school, dude.
So that's survival. That's what they're doing for survival.
Humans started somewhere and went, hey, fire's real good. Hey, this sharp stick, help me kill things. Like, monkeys got to start somewhere, brother.
So you think that they are on the human level, like they're well on their way?
Not yet, but they have to evolve, just like everything else, man.
Well, how come we sped up so fast? Like,
we did it.
Why us?
Go look at our evolutionary chain. It's you fucking Christians that are like, and 6 days he's here.
Yeah, but it's you guys who say that we came from apes. So why are some apes still?
No, we didn't come from fucking apes. We came from a very specific... No, they don't. They say we came from a very specific type of animal, but ape is not scientifically correct. So, I mean...
That's what some scientists have said.
Well, some Christians say if you pick your nose, you're going to fucking hell. That doesn't make them right.
But that's not in the Bible. Yeah, that doesn't make them right. But they have science. But you would say science is correct, like all science is. Like if there's evidence for it, it's got to be true.
Yeah. I bet there's more evidence to say that we didn't come from apes than there is evidence that there's... Uh-oh. My brain didn't kick that out right. I bet there is...
I know where you're going with it.
Yeah.
I knew what you meant.
Apes is not the correct terminology from what we came from. We did come from an ape-like creature. It was not an ape.
But have dogs made spears?
Well, not yet.
They don't even have opposable thumbs. How would they hold them?
Not yet.
They got
Do you
a
know
long
how evolution
way to go.
works? And? I never said it was going to be a soon thing. You won't be around to see it, brother. I hate it for you.
It's not going to happen. Well, so your assumptions about it being possible are just as far-fetched as mine, and from your terms, that there's a God.
You think? No.
It could be. It could be that it will happen, but I don't know.
It is way more likely that a dog will make a fucking weapon than it is that there's somebody in the sky judging every little thing that I do in my life. That's just how it is. There are two sets of fucking species on this planet that have started making tools and weapons.
Scientists would disagree with you simply based on the fact they don't even have opposable thumbs. How would they hold it?
No, hold on. I just said there's two species.
Yeah, I'm talking about dogs, though.
I know you're talking about dogs. I'm just saying.
But the species have opposable thumbs.
Not yet. Not yet. You never know where evolution is going to take you. You can go, no, that's not right. But that has a higher chance because I've seen two species make weapons. That has a much higher chance than God being real because I've seen 0 gods.
I saw Zooptopia. That's where you tell me they're headed. If you haven't seen it, I suggest it.
Yeah. Well, the sloths are going to take over the country. Because anybody who tries to have a war with those guys, like diplomacy, they're just going to out-age them right there in the talks.
They're like excellent filibusters.
Yeah, they'll filibust every single one.
Everyone what? It doesn't matter. Just every one of them they will filibust.
Yep, every one of them. You go to war, like they have that like duel at the beginning where like the leaders ride out and they're like...
one guy versus one guy?
Yeah, and he's going to go... And it's just like gonna take forever, and the other guy's just gonna like go to sleep, and that's when the sloth strikes. Like he's asleep, and he takes 6 hours to like slit the guy's throat.
He the guy feels it, and he just doesn't. Like he sleeps, and he wakes up, and the sloth hasn't moved like half an inch and cutting his throat. He's like, "I'll deal with this in the morning."
Yeah, I've got time. Yeah,
I've got time. Lots of it.
Yeah, so the dog thing makes sense though.
But the dog thing does not make sense because they cannot. I mean, they don't have the ability to process decisions. Like Now, I think that's it. I think that is
Who,
his
dogs?
argument.
Dogs or Adam and Eve? No. He doesn't say decisions. He says moral decisions, and that's different.
Yeah,
So
well,
the
right and wrong,
theory,
and that's what I'm saying. That's where his argument is coming from. Is
yeah.
they hadn't yet eaten from the tree, and so his point is very much like a dog is like, well, a dog doesn't know right from wrong, but it can be told not to do something, and will just do it out of obedience. And my thing is like, well, yeah, exactly. Why didn't Adam and Eve? But they had a choice. They made a choice. He
Well, at
said,
that
"Don't."
rate, you say a dog makes a choice too, but it's not the choice that he's worried about. It's the okay. It's the having the cognitive ability to make a choice based on all the information that they don't have that, and that because they haven't eaten from the tree. And so basically, what they do is they see, okay, God, cool, and then they see this all-powerful snake, cool. Both of these guys are authority figures because they both have a shit ton of knowledge and power that we don't have. And so at
But
that
what would
point, they
make
respect them
you?
both.
Did you? I think you read Genesis, right? You read through that first few chapters.
Yeah.
So, but there was no inclination at all that serpent had any type of power, other than he was crafty and he twisted it because we can get into this later, but we know that was Satan, and so we know that Satan is the father of lies.
Sure.
And so he made it sound enticing, and so that's sort of the whole thing now is things that entice us because the devil knows what affects all of us. Like he tempts us in that way because we all have something that is like speaks to our inner darkness, if you will, and it brings it out of us. And so for them, it's like, hey, he's lying to you guys. He's saying that if you eat this, you'll die. You won't die, and that's the whole thing. Is like physically, they wouldn't die. Like spiritual, that was the fall of man. That was like they went from everything was perfect for them. They had free will because he's saying, hey, eat from any tree you want, just not this one. All right, just not this one, or you'll die. So he's given them everything except one thing, but that's not good enough for them. Just like as humans, it's not good enough for us. And I certainly think they had more cognitive ability. I think they have cognitive abilities. Maybe they didn't have moral resolution. Maybe they couldn't say, well, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I understand that he doesn't want me to do that.
Do you think a dog acts that way?
No, that's why I'm saying that's the difference.
But what gives you the thought that they have right and wrong if they don't have all this fucking knowledge?
But the thing is, how do we know that they didn't? Like we're assuming we're
how
thinking
do we know
Micah's,
any of this fucking happens? Yeah, well, we're assuming a whole lot because the Genesis doesn't give us the breakdown on the stat sheet of Adam and Eve. But let's just assume that the apple has fucking everything in it, right? Because they weren't supposed to eat it.
Okay. Well, it has the knowledge of good and evil, so that's knowing. I don't know what that would actually.
That's pretty vague too. Most of the Bible.
Well, it'd be like, what is good, what is evil? I don't think
what is
it's
good,
that
what
vague.
is evil? I think that's moral choices. Everything's really black and gray, and everything good and evil is based on perspective as well. So.
Well, it's not because then what would be the point in having laws? If everything was perspective, then there would be no need for laws.
No, that's not true. You need laws to have a general perspective and a general moral base. Stop fucking scratching your lottos.
That
winning. Being said, I don't care if you're winning. If you're winning, why don't we have better shit on our show?
I was about to say that.
No. So the thing with that is good and evil. Wow, there's so many tangents. Good and evil is perspective based. Fucking sociopaths think they're doing the Lord's work when they kill people.
I like how you base all sociopaths saying like that they're doing the Lord's work. Like,
no, it's not just the Lord's work, but you have the people that run cults and then do mass suicides, and they think they're ascending this world. So to them, they think they're doing good. You have moms who kill fucking babies because they hear voices, and so they think they're saving their babies' lives. Like, they think they're doing good. Good and evil is perspective based. If you don't think that, then you're insane, man.
No, to me, the Bible is what tells me morals, like anything. So if you tell me something's good, or if you say this is good or this is bad, chances are it's in the Bible. Oh right, I forget that you have a book to base all your choices off of. So that's always hard for me to argue against. Well, I think that also it's sort of these things are innate because, of course, I'm a creature that thinks that God created us, and as He created us, inside of us is this just almost this obvious thing that says, hey, this is good or this is bad, but then we also have that sin inside of us that says, hey, if this part's going to take over, it doesn't matter. We don't care. There's people who don't care about right, and so of course they deviate from and attempt to do more wrong and do harm. That's where you get your crazies and your rapists and your killers, and they just don't care.
Yeah, just put them all in the same pile.
Yeah, atheist, you're a murderer. You might as well.
All sins are equal.
No. See,
but
I'm not saying it. I don't want people to get confused. What I'm not saying is that if you're not a Christian, then you don't know what morals are. I think that's where people get when they're like, well, if he's not a Christian, he doesn't know. But where I'm saying morals, like there's a definite right and wrong. There's a definite right and wrong.
No, I think it's perspective based, but we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one.
Well, anybody who says that morals are relative,
they are.
But how can that be? Well, then that's relative to what? Then
relative to your environment, to your society.
Then relativity is relative, and that doesn't make sense. You know, like you're in a circle that doesn't make sense.
Well, time travel is a paradox too. It doesn't have to make sense for it to happen.
But time travel hasn't happened. I time
travel every day. I just happen to go forward at a regular pace all the time.
Well, then you're in a constant. But you will go backwards. That's traveling. That's traveling. Like yours is constant. It's on play. Like everybody's doing that. So if everybody's doing it, nobody's doing it.
Yeah, that's still special. Time travel. I never said it was special. I'm still traveling through time, bitch. So
well, then I defy gravity every day. There's no such thing as gravity. I jumped once.
No, you didn't, because gravity came right back down.
For 1 second, I defied gravity.
Through time. I mean, that's an arguable point. Yeah, so I think morals are relative. I think they're perspective based, but I also come from a different wheelhouse for that. Getting back to the dogs, though, Adam and Eve and dogs. The theory there is that the serpent used subterfuge to go. Yeah,
used what?
Subterfuge.
Oh, okay.
To be like, I am a guy of authority, a place of authority, so you can listen to me. And so that's what he's saying, like, right? Like, to him, it was like mom and dad, the same level of authority, right? Where you have two owners. Mm-hmm. So, and he's like, no, eat the apple. It's cool. It's chill. He doesn't know. He had a hard day at work. Like, this is day 7. He's resting, so he's a little grumpy. I mean, you get it. And so then, bam, they eat the apple.
So it was their decision, though, right?
I mean, yeah, there's a decision, but I think you're giving it too much credit. I want you to get a fucking animal, and when the animal does something you don't like, I want you to scold him for his decision. Not for his results, but for his decision. You're not going to do that. They are animals at that point. They don't have the moral compass. I think that has to come in the good and evil box.
Well, yeah, but see, then after the fact, after Adam and Eve committed that, they didn't go back to like, I mean, they understood at that point they get it now. And so they're still humans who have more cognitive processes, the capacity to think of their own, to evaluate their actions, weigh consequences. You know, and even today, dogs don't have that. They can be conditioned, which is much different from humans. They can be conditioned.
After they eat the apple, they're allowed to weigh consequences. So they couldn't weigh the consequences of eating the apple. They went, Mom said I can eat the apple. You just fucking said eating the apple.
Eve was apparently afraid of whatever death was. She must have known what death was, because she said, if we eat of it, God says we're going to die. Because if she didn't know what it was and was like, well, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm going to eat this anyways, because I don't know what death is. So she must have known what death was. They had to eat that. The animals were there for them to eat.
Okay, but
the concept of death was apparent to them. Well, it's because we're saying, well, they didn't know, but the whole line that makes everything important, like if the whole thing, if God said just don't eat from it, if that was it, I could be like, man, yeah, they were like dogs, but he said, he gave them the consequence. He said, or you will die, and it's like, okay, well, I don't need to like, I get it, because she knew it. She said, well, Satan, we will surely die, and that's where then she was convinced, and she had a decision to make. Do I eat from it and think I'll die, or do I listen to this other guy and maybe I won't? But, God created us, but I get to make this decision.
So there's a whole lot of things we can argue here. Like, can you argue brainwashing or indoctrination or coercion? Because at a certain point, it's no longer that person's decision if they've been duped, right? Like, it just isn't.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's what has been happening to us ever since, is people go, well, God doesn't know what's best for me, and this other guy is saying stuff that sounds much better. I'm going to take that route. And that's how Christians get in trouble anyways, is because it's our own selfish desires that come up. And it may have been Adam and Eve's own selfish desires that said, well, we want to eat from this tree. I mean, that may have been the case. They may have said, we know what death is, but, we want to eat from this tree. It's what we want. And so it's like God says, all right, you made your decision. Here are your consequences. And that is exactly what happened. And now we have what's known as the fall of man. And so now we have to till the fields, and women have to experience pain during childbirth and all of those things that come
Well, the other option was that it was just Adam and Eve, man. Right?
They would have procreated. No, they would have procreated.
Yeah. In whose house?
What do you mean in whose house? They had the whole earth.
Yeah. Well, who's gonna marry those bitches? There's nobody on the earth to marry them.
They're already married. When God created, if you read a little further, God said He calls them husband and wife.
Oh well, you know what? That's bullshit. Like just to be like call you husband and wife. No, there's a guy who joins those two people. Okay.
It doesn't have to be. That's a man-made, like, that's an institute. Like, don't you think the guy who created marriage at the beginning of time is able to say, all right, you guys are the only ones here. You know what?
Well, you think he'd put something in the fucking garden that they're allowed to eat instead of saying, okay, you can eat everything with this one thing. How about you fucking take temptation out? No. You gotta have temptation there because you're an asshole.
Everything. You just said it. They had everything they could want.
But that one thing.
Or you surely die. If you told me I could have $1 million for this $1 bill, you can have the $1 bill, but you can have the million.
It's not the fucking same thing because you have a concept of money. Like, it's not. And you already have the apple, so you can't really judge. Like, you already have the knowledge from the apple. You can't do money, man. Like, that's not
if you tell me anything, this will kill you, you will die. I don't really have to be like, I mean, I don't need it. Well, why? What causes me to die? What's so bad about it? Like, I don't need it. Like, that'll kill you. All right. Well, like, okay, over in Afghanistan, they're like, don't walk in that minefield because it'll kill you. Well, I want to go stand over I don't ask that question.
But you have a concept of, I don't know, man. Like, and look, all right. And so we're gonna get into
how are we doing on time?
Oh, we're good. We got like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, good.
So, Devan, I gotta say, and this is probably gonna get into the gruffer territory, which sucks because I'm gonna see your face tomorrow. Buddy, you're already kind of a sheep. Like, somebody told you God's real. You read a book that says God's real. So if somebody walked up and said, don't walk in that field because there's mines there, you're not gonna walk in that field because someone has already told you. Like, what if there's fucking gold? What if there's $1 million on the other side of this minefield? Huh? You gonna walk through that minefield? You just gonna take it on their word that there's mines in that field?
Well, yes. Like, if they've been there and they see it, they get it. But it'd have to come from the authority. And that's the whole point, is like, what authority is that coming from?
Exactly. Which comes around full fucking circle to say that snake was a fucking authority figure in their life, and he went, no, don't listen to him. He's had a bad day. Work was rough. They're laying people off. Don't worry about him. You just eat your apple.
God created them. If and I can't say this because I wasn't there, but if someone created you, you understand the power, the magnitude of their ability. But then you just have this serpent, this nobody that shows up and says, "Hey, dude, eat that tree."
Oh shit! Oh my god! I have the perfect example, Devan. But I have to ask before I go with this. How sensitive is your family, as in like your direct above you family? How sensitive is that?
What do you mean? Oh no, I don't think it is.
Okay, good. All right, so here, perfect. Ready? All right. So your mother, who gave you life, who created you and brought you into this world, Devan. You good with that? That's all true.
Let's go ahead. Yep.
You love your mom. If she told you to right now and said, "Hey, Devan, don't eat this fucking sandwich, okay? Don't eat this sandwich, okay?"
Okay.
And then your father, who has not been around at all, rolls up and goes, "Devan, you should eat that sandwich because it has the cure to your fucking cancer." What do you do? Now you
have cancer now.
I mean, well, he's telling you this. Hey, but I brought your dad back in your life, so many good things.
Hey, yes, everyone wins.
No, what I'm saying is, like, dude, fucking people, like, moms create lives. that doesn't make them the fucking authority on everything. Now,
there's a big difference between my mom creating me, my mom who is not perfect, who did not create the universe, who did not create another human being out of me, versus God who created Adam and Eve, and they saw these things happen. They knew that all things were created. They were there. A woman was created out of Adam. Like it's a good point. Like, hey, your mom made you, but my mom is not, like, they were talking to God, the creator of all things.
I'm telling your mom you don't think she's perfect.
Don't tell her I said that, please.
He goes, no, don't. No, please don't.
It's sensitive. I lied. It's sensitive. You got to edit all of this, the whole episode.
It's a sensitive subject. I love my mommy. No. Yeah, my point,
so as example, so as someone said, if someone came in, so I guess the authority thing, my thing goes back to, like, it was their decision. It was a decision. Like he said, don't do it.
But you also think God is the authority. Like, you just think he is the authority, right? Like, you don't think there is any other authority to God. Like, and so that's, for you, you go,
right,
well, these idiots, they listen to the fucking devil, which they didn't really know it was the devil. He was just another fucking super being. It's a talking snake, Devan. To this day, if a talking animal rolls up to me, I'm gonna fucking listen. It just seems smart. If a sheep walks up and goes, don't go to that concert next Tuesday. Guess what I'm not going to? The fucking concert on Tuesday. A talking sheep told me. So I think the talking snake gets a little authority. Just a little bit.
Well, they don't know anything different. Maybe they assume that all animals talk. They're like, all right, well God
does
did
the
like
Adam
this
and
guy
Eve
talking,
story
so
say all the animals talk?
They used to. I guess, I don't know. I wasn't there. It doesn't say anything about it. Whether
Exactly.
They did or didn't.
So therefore we can assume that all animals don't talk, and this fucking talking snake's a little bit strange.
Yeah, but these are the first, like, they're the first
Because otherwise,
people.
Devan, it's like, hey, cow, I'm real hungry, so I'm going to slaughter you. It's all right, Adam. It's what we're here for. Nobody's killing that cow when he's like, yeah,
maybe not
go
today.
ahead and
You
do
live
it.
another day talking cow.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Steve, and he's gonna drop me some of those eggs, man. Like, I don't feel comfortable killing you. All right, you just come back tomorrow if you get hungry. Like, that's no way, dude. Talking animal trumps God. Trump's God.
I don't think so. I think that's an opinion. Like, that's cool. I think the talking snake's awesome, but the power of God to create things, to create
You don't know that snake doesn't have the same power, though. He's a fucking talking snake.
Well, God said God removed his. We need to pull that out, put that scripture out, and see what he says about that snake after the snake tricks him, because the snake gets his own dealings as well.
Yeah, well, he gets bitch slapped around afterwards, but it's not like God, who saw the shit going down, walked over and went, you don't listen to the fucking snake. He's a scumbag. No, he went, don't eat that apple. That's a bad thing. It's like, well, the snake over here. Yeah, but no, apple. Don't do it. It's real bad for you. I don't know.
Oh, so the God said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed more than any livestock and more than any wild animal. You will move on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life. I will put hostility between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He will strike your head, and you will strike his heel.
I mean, that's neat and all, but they still ate that fucking fruit.
Yeah, they made a dumb decision, because someone said.
And so I want to know
the ultimate power
before he was on his fucking tummy. Like
the what? That's what I thought. I was like, is he like run? I
did
picture
he have, like,
the
legs?
The little dragon from Mulan.
From Mulan, yes. Yeah, Mushu.
I may listen to Mushu.
Yeah, see.
It's like, he's so cute. Like,
he's so cute.
You're cute. You wouldn't lie to me, would you?
Yeah,
but that's exactly what the devil does. He comes in a form that you appreciate.
Well, you should watch the show Lucifer. It's really good.
I want to actually see that. I want to check it out.
It's really good.
So, I mean, my whole thing is, let me pull that back up real quick. We are not dogs. They knew what death was. For her to be able to say, I would eat from it, but God says if we do this, like, we will die. And so she's saying, I don't want to. But then she's coerced. So even if she doesn't know what right and wrong is, she knows what death is, and she knows that God says don't eat from the tree. At that point, it is her decision, her free will, that kicks in and says, you know what, I've heard both sides of this story, and I've decided to take X path.
Yeah, but there's a lot of teen moms out here that will tell you that coercion's a son of a bitch. Peer pressure will get you knocked up. So, I mean, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to
Hashtag
look
Teen
at somebody.
Mom. Oh
yeah,
my
hashtag
gosh.
Teen Mom, hashtag MTV, hashtag TPass. I don't think it's fair to look at somebody who's not cognitively strong, and I wouldn't call Adam and Eve cognitively strong, and expect them to be able to make a responsible decision. I wouldn't expect a teenager to be able to make a responsible decision. I wouldn't expect Adam and Eve, who were just whipped out of the fucking thin air, to make a responsible decision. So.
Well, how much more does it, like your family says don't drink and drive, and then
I drink and drive ridiculously, right?
No. Well, so that's your own decision. It's like, well, hey, don't do this thing. And even as kids, when our parents say don't do this thing, we end up doing it because of our own.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to try it out.
I think that's because your parents. Were failures, just like mine. Here's what they did: don't do this thing. Okay. Like, thanks for the lack of explanation, the lack of fucking realism with me. How about I sit down and have a conversation with my son? So don't have unprotected sex. Now here's why. It's gonna feel really good. Now the problem is it comes with STDs and babies.
Well, people do that in schools, and people still do that. I mean,
no, we don't do that enough in schools. We do not do that enough in schools, and they're not real in schools. It's scare tactics. It's HIV, AIDS, syphilis, babies. No one ever says, actually, man, it's really good, really good, and you're going to feel really close with that person. But here's the negatives to that. They don't. They give you the scary side, because it's almost like going to a scared straight camp.
Well, yeah, but you said you feel really close, but that's to assume that sex equals love, and that is not the case.
No, I don't think
that's what people think.
Okay, wait. I think when you have sex with somebody, on the majority, you're gonna feel close to them. If you don't, you're probably a sociopath.
Well, you're physically, yes, gonna feel. But how many drunken relationships have ended up in times when you? That's where the walk of shame comes into play, and that's where I got to keep drinking so you become a
that person. Well, if you don't feel anything emotionally, and I don't say you're gonna love somebody. But if you don't feel that moment between two fucking people fucking, you might want to go check yourself in somewhere or talk to a therapist. Because if you have sex with somebody and there's literally nothing, you should have enjoyment for sure. You should feel that this is another person and you should respect that person in that moment. You don't have to get up from that bed and go, this was a great idea and I'd love to do it again. You can get up and go, oh, that was awful. But in the moment, especially with all your fucking chemicals going, it's going to feel like a good idea.
That's a biological response.
Yeah.
Of course you are. But that doesn't mean, feeling, you can't base everything you do on feelings.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to tell you this. Emotions are just biological responses.
Yeah, well, I agree. But what are you trying to say?
Well,
no. When you choose to love someone, so you may not always have the type of passion.
I'm not saying when you have sex with somebody you love them. I'm saying you feel close to them.
Because you literally are close to them, so you should feel close to them.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, or you don't, and I'm talking to a brick wall. When you have sex with somebody, there has to be something fucking there. If you're having sex with them and it's equivalent to masturbating, you're a sociopath. Because you're just masturbating with somebody's body. And
what about people who have one-night stands or drunken nights and all those
but they feel close to them at that point. And most of the time, for the man, it's a form of validation that they feel when they do that. And for females, a lot too. By having sex with him, I'm making him like me more. And he's thinking, by having sex with her, I'm feeling real good right now, and I'm also performing a conquest. There's a lot of shit that goes into sex. A lot of shit. One night.
Yeah, but there's definitely not some people are pressured into it. It's definitely not. But if you shouldn't be doing it. First of all, if you don't love someone, and then from a Christian standpoint, you shouldn't do it until you're married to someone. A lot of complications come from that.
I don't think you have to be married. Obviously, I don't think you have to love somebody to have sex with them.
You should love someone, or you should love someone if you're going to do that.
Sometimes, look. Obviously, if you're under 18,
what's the point if you don't love someone? Then it's for just pure enjoyment. There's no love attached.
Yeah, sometimes you do things for pure physical enjoyment.
You do. I agree. Some people do that. Yep.
When's the last time you had a cup of coffee? Who was that for? When you had that cup of coffee, was that for pure enjoyment?
But it's for me. It's not two people and me having to think about another person's emotions when I drank a cup of coffee.
Somebody had to make that cup of coffee for you.
I made that cup of coffee for me.
When you went to Starbucks, huh? Somebody had to make that cup of coffee. You inflicted somebody to have to work for their money.
Oh my God!
Until you got there, they were getting paid.
You idiot!
No, dude.
I'm gonna punch you right in the gullet tomorrow, Steve. Mid-state.
We walk up. Hey, this is so and so. Whack. He's a good friend.
He's a good friend. Trust me.
I really appreciate what he thinks about you. No, like.
Don't base it on the first time you meet him. Hey, so I thought about this, and I didn't know how this might go or might not go, and I've already said her name again, but she who must not be named yet. When I meet her tomorrow, I was gonna say something like immediately off the bat, like, if you were to die today, would you go to heaven or hell? And then
don't do that. That's not even funny.
Like, it is funny because I'm a pastor,
I'm okay. Right. Well, you can't do that right off the bat. Like,
maybe
that's
a second or third time.
Well, I'm so cool for you to mess with her because she'll come right back with you. Like, if you think I'm fucking bad. Like, dude, it's.
But what if it's like one of those things where it's not like a funny comeback? It's like she really wants to hurt me, so she's like cuts me, and I'm just like, all right, DeWayne, we just gotta get out of here. Like,
we gotta go. Yeah.
I just crap my pants. We gotta go.
That actually is funny. She was telling a friend about me, and her friend goes, well, what if he doesn't like me? And she jokingly right back to her friend was like, then you'll have to go. And I was like, that's amazing. And that's just how she is, dude. She'll joke around. Like, I don't think like going, hey, my name's Devan. Where are you gonna go? Heaven or hell? Answer now. You're running out of time.
Throw a Bible at her forehead. Time's up.
No. You like hold her hand the entire time, and you just look up. You're running out of time. Look up. You're running out of time. Yeah. And then you got your wife on the other end going, I'm so sorry. This is just him. We deal with it. We left the helmet in the car.
He may or may not be slightly retarded.
You get soup and have to have the water wings.
I love my water wings. Anyways, I'm sure we've butchered your topic, Micah.
Yeah.
We did not even talk about it.
Yeah, we ended up just talking about Adam and Eve and then that whole thing, which is still a good topic, but I think it's enough on the Adam and Eve thing. Like,
well, and then I think maybe next week, let's see, he had some other stuff too he wanted to bring up. I have it in my little notebook here.
We'll go over it, and it definitely won't be Adam and Eve next week. I do like that he pointed out with Wikipedia articles 3 other big people who converted to atheisms. Ding, ding, ding.
Dude, this point. How many other good job, Micah. You listed 3 people. There's other people who who tried to disprove God's existence, and then in the end we're like, hey, there's more evidence that I found that points to God than points to him not existing. It's the same thing. It's going to be the same thing for all over.
I don't know. One of those groups of people believe in imaginary friends, so
someday you will too.
Isn't that the goal? Like, that's what you hope?
I do hope. I prayed a lot.
Yeah, well, that's real rough, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm going to have to hit you with my car, and you'll just be like, I love God, and be like, mission accomplished.
Oh, huh? Please don't hit me with your... No. So
I'll do whatever it takes.
Oh, Jesus fucking... Murder. Yeah.
Just kill you.
Yeah, we're running low on time, so let's...
Okay.
I think we might run over a little bit, but that's okay. So where can people find you, Devan?
Yes, you can find me on the Instagram at Thunder Arms. It's all lowercase, all one word, and instead of an S at the end, it's a Z, Thunder Arms. You can find me on Twitter at ThunderArms7. Same thing as Instagram, just add a 7 to it. You can email DeWayne or both of us at thepastoranatheistshow@gmail.com.
Yeah, and I've got that email on my phone now, so I'm actually getting them in more alert to the emails.
Hadn't got any since Micah, but Micah,
that's not
appreciate
true.
You as always.
That's not true, Micah. I'm sorry, but you're not the last one. Miss Cynthia says,
I didn't get one.
Dearest one, how are you today? I hope you're doing very fine. My name is Miss Cynthia Kipkala. I decided to contact you for friendship. Please get back to me. I will like to have a very good relationship with you, and I have some important discussion to discuss with you. There's information I would like to share with you and keep very confidential. Although, you may wonder why I'm so revealing myself to you without knowing you. Well, I will say that my mind convinced me that you may be true person to help me. More so, my father, blessed memory, deposited the sum amount of dollars in a bank with my name of next to kin. I will appreciate if you can reply to me for further discussion. I will be very happy if you accept me as your own person. I will be happy to receive your message in my email.
Wait, did you get this email? What are you reading right
It's in the spam section from labbym@speedy.com.ar. But don't worry. Wait, let me finish the email, 'cause here's why I trust her. Please, and I will be waiting for your information in response for further introduction and exchange of pictures or other vital contacts. Please do not fail to reply me through this email address, cynthia.kcones@yahoo.fr.
Hello, Cynthia. I would like to very much be friends of yours,
Wait,
please.
hold on.
Okay.
So she sends from one email, tells us to email another one, and that's a little sketch. And then she brings me back in. She says, "Thanks and God bless you." Boom. Christians would never lead me wrong. I'm sending her my bank account information right now.
But she just wants to be our friend, DeWayne. I'm in. I'm going to send her my stuff right now.
You're going to send her pictures of you?
I did not know.
She
I guess
says
that's
pictures and other vital contacts. Worst scammer ever.
Oh, my gosh. And I've gotten 2 of those for our house, like our sublease, that are from... She sent me a ton of information just like that, like what she likes to read.
Mm-hmm.
I got to send this to you later on. But anyways.
I thought you'd get a kick out of that because you're like, I didn't get the email. How did I get the email?
Yeah.
And then halfway through, you son of a...
I got it halfway through. I was like, that's so funny.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, so I'll be watching the emails. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and I turned Snapchat back on. I'm trying to work with that. I really, man, it's not for me, but I'm trying to work with it. All of those you can find me, Your IT Hero, Possessive Your. Go to the website, read that meditation article. My goal is one article a week. They may not all be quality, but that's the goal. Yep, good stuff. Devan, I'll see you tomorrow around lunchtime.
12 o'clock?
Yep,
Yes, sir.
You got me the address, so I'll make it there. She'll make it there. Hey, are you bringing Atlas?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I kept saying Atlas in the text messages, but you never confirmed. And
I missed that. Yeah.
I hadn't seen him in a while, so.
He's big now, bro. But
I know. He looks just fucking like you, so it'll be cool.
Sweet. All right, bro. All right, guys. I love you. Mean it.
Thanks for listening.